I'm the Curious Sage, Dwayne Grove, bringing you the amazing and transformative power and value of human connection. And building on the message of value and building on the messages that I've had in a couple of previous videos on the topic of perfection, I thought I would share an important message today to drive that theme even deeper. And to do that, I need to start with a little story. It's an ancient story. There was once a very old, wise woman who lived out in the forest. And foraging for food one day, she came across a most beautiful stone, a magical stone. And so she picked the stone up and she dropped it in her bag and continued on looking for food. After a while, a man came by. This man had been on a very long journey, and as part of that journey, he had run out of money and food. And approaching this old woman, he could tell that she was a very wise woman. And he approached her and said, "Is there anything that you could give me, because I am without money and without food?" Looking in her bag, she's found the stone that she had discovered, and she held it out in her hand and said to the man, "This is all that I have." The man, looking down at the stone, realized it was an incredibly valuable stone. It was beautiful and it was powerful. And so without thinking much, he accepted her offer, took the stone in his hand, and went on his way. As he turned his back to the woman, he couldn't believe his fortune. And so he continued on his journey. After a few days, however, as the man continued to reflect upon the generosity of the woman, he couldn't help but be puzzled by why this woman, this very wise woman, would have given him such a valuable stone. And so, returning to the area where he had originally met the woman, he looked around, and eventually, looking across the meadow, he saw her foraging for food. He came up to the woman with the stone in his hand, reaching out and giving it back to her, and said, "I'd like to give this back to you, because what I really want to understand is the value and the beauty and the wisdom that enabled you to give me this stone in the first place." You see, each one of us carries that stone within us. We are born perfect with the stone of magical love. And it is that love that we are called to get back in touch with and to share so freely with others. That is our highest calling. Our highest calling is to get back to the perfection that we were created with, at perfect love. Now, there are many people who grew up in families that were, quite frankly, a lot less loving than they deserved. Perhaps you may have grown up in an abusive family, but yet when you were birthed perfectly with the seed of love. Even if that love didn't come from your parents, the universe gifted you with that perfect love. And it is a part of our journey, and in fact, I think it is the essence of our journey to get back in touch with that valuable element that lives in each and every one of us. It lives in your heart. It lives in my heart. And when we are able to finally love ourselves and love in that way of recognizing that beautiful, perfect, magical stone within us, that we can then begin our journey of healing ourselves, healing those around us, healing our planet, and healing the universe. So what do you need to do to find the stone? It's there. Is there things in your life that are keeping you from finding the stone? Are there past failures or disappointments that you need to let go of? In this Mercury retrograde season, this is the time of going in deep. With Mercury in Pisces right now, we just had the new moon in Pisces. This is a great opportunity to reflect upon and rediscover that magical stone that each and every one of us carries.